What are some of the things a dad should know about raising a girl? Tough Pack 88. I was raised by a single dad. When I started my period, he made it clear that my period was not embarrassing, and he would get me whatever I needed to take care of myself. Also, if there's not a mom around, please ask some friends how to manage your daughter's hair. Don't teeth that frog. Ask some friends how to manage your daughter's hair. r/Dadit shares some nice pics and YouTube channels on this. Umongawa. If you do nothing else right, speak kindly. I don't have the best dad. He was always fighting his own demons, and therefore not all that present, but he has literally only ever been kind to me, and that sticks out more than anything. He praises everything we do, compliments us endlessly, and always made us feel like we were obviously capable of anything. It has always been easy to see/feel his shortcomings really didn't have anything to do with me and were his own personal issues. Woodchips 24. Sounds like a man who knows he's not okay, but wants better for his kids and does his best to make it happen. That's really all you can ask for out of a parent. Idrium Nalanger. I like this a lot and will keep it in mind with my own peanut. Thank you. Free Kane. Not a woman, but a dad of a girl, front to back is the most important lesson to learn first. Everything else gets complicated, so start there. Black Barlow. For anyone who doesn't know, he means wiping. Wiping back to front can cause UTIs. Invisibird. Men don't wipe back to front either because you could get shit on the back of your balls, and no one likes shit balls. Taste this rainbow. Shit balls. Cacti poke. Please don't be super grossed out if you see a pad or something. Every girl will get a period and most will get it fairly young, like 10 or 11 or 12. That means that she is still a child and you might just have to go buy her pads. It will really make your daughter sad if she works up the courage to say, "Dad, I think I got my period," and you go, "Ew, gross." She needs someone to talk to when she first gets it, and that someone might be you. Also, some cramps can be so painful, like vomiting/crying painful, so don't tell your daughter to suck it up. Just in case some people don't know, women cannot hold periods. It's not like pee. It comes when it wants to and it will not stop. Goddamn sexual panda. On this note, bathrooms need those lil garbage bins with lil trash bags in them. Onying Tyraj. As someone who has worked as a janitor, message fucking received. Bizomi Buddy Tosamion. We had a new building built at my work and clearly it was built by men only because they forgot to put these trash cans in. They also didn't even order them, so we had no way to dispose of pads or tampons for a week. Then I brought it up to one of our executive's assistants. She was so distraught about it. Within 30 minutes she sent someone to the store to buy enough for every stall for every floor. She __ believed. She was the real MVP there. Bless her. Bizomi Buddy Tosamion. Not all heroes wear capes. Some just buy you a trash can for your tampons. Backbee. And also don't throw a hissy fit about how much toilet paper is being thrown out unless you want to see bloody tampons in the trash. Smiley face. Arteris 1. Regarding periods, make her believe that telling you things will be held in confidence. Don't let her think you are going to blab her personal business to the whole family, or you end up with a kid who hides having her period for 2 months to avoid guess who's a woohoo now. Shame at Thanksgiving and Christmas events. Nefer Hather. Yes. My mom is like this and I hid my period for 2 years because I knew she would tell everyone. And she did, when I told her. I was so embarrassed. I undercat. Similarly, if she starts at a family event, don't mention it. I had my first period the day my aunt graduated from college and she was so mad that I stole her thunder. Like, what the fuck? Sensamaya. I would also say when she gets her period that sending her to her pediatrician to get a checkup is great as well. I highly recommend a female doctor. Talk to the drive and let her know that her period has started and talk about what should be expected and what shouldn't be. We as women have been taught that painful cramps, vomiting, etc. is normal when oftentimes it isn't. I was diagnosed with PCOS at 25 when I had all the symptoms at the start. Knowing these things at the earliest possible time will allow her to regulate the things that must in order to moderate her symptoms. My periods don't hurt anymore because I went to the doctor. Get her comfortable with the idea of a doctor's that way she feels like it's okay to get a checkup when something isn't right. Being in tune with your body is so damn important and I'm only just now learning how to do that. Thank you to all the women who have commented behind me adding awesome other tidbits of incredibly important info. Periods are such a unique thing to each woman. Every female's period is different and just as much as a pain in the uterus. LOL. Younger ladies, if you have questions please reach out to us. If we don't know the answer we will tell you we don't know, but you shouldn't be living in misery over something that is only meant to prime your body for pregnancy. Talk to us ladies, we know the pain. Taiway 88. This. Cramps, bloating, general discomfort and a bit of moodiness is normal. Screaming and crying pain, severe depression, constant or frequent vomiting and like generally isn't. If a girl, or woman, is experiencing the above, it's always worth talking to a kind and caring doctor. On that note, talk to your family members about how their doctors treat them. Too many people are bullied or put down or ignored by their family doctor or gynecologist without speaking up. Asking questions about how things go is a good thing, especially with a young or vulnerable person as long as you respect if they're not comfortable talking about it beyond it was fine. Squid Sacco. Don't start acting as though she will turn into a raging monster the second she hits puberty. It's a weird expectation to have placed on you. On that note, don't blame everything she feels on her hormones. Don't lose your shit when she starts needing a bra. She has breasts now. So what? A father freaking out or being weird about it will just complicate how she feels even more. If mom can't take her shopping, have her sized, take her to a store, get her a fitting room. Done. Don't make her feel weird or bad about needing one. Also, it isn't hard to have her sized. My store won't size you, but they will teach girls how to do so properly and provide you with a room, measuring tape, and advice. Myself. This so much. My dad was horrible to me when I started going through puberty at 12. He demanded that my little bunnies be caged, his words. I was 12 and was flat-chested, but I needed to learn that a bra was a reality for women. I didn't have breasts till I was 18 and started birth control, but I had to wear a bra all the time, otherwise I was being slutty. I have worn so many ill-fitting bras over the years that I hate wearing a bra. It took years for me to ask for help and not be ashamed of my breasts. Someone gots to know. That's horrible. My parents are conservative and have strong expectations about what I would wear out in public, but I was always grateful they never made me feel weird about being braless in my own home. I never felt my nipples and breasts were a dirty thing. Suzuki Tunes. My mom would frequently make comments to me as a teenager when I wasn't wearing a bra inside our own house. When I was around 20, she asked me why I wasn't wearing a bra and I said because I don't want to. Why do you care so much about my boobs? That shut her up. Fachon's fat pants. Yes, on the hormones. I've always been really shy, especially when I was a kid. Once I turned 13, I constantly got jokes from my dad about being an emotional teenager. I wasn't particularly emotional as far as I could tell, but guess what? Making fun of me definitely pushed me away, and dismissing anything that comes out of my mouth because of emotions makes me feel like you don't value me in the least. Also, a side note, don't change your only daughter's doorknob to one that doesn't lock. She needs privacy, and the constant paranoia of you barging in on her while changing is not healthy. I'd also like to add that my dad is actually wonderful. These two things were pretty minor and we've moved past these things. Musing life. Don't be too overprotective. How long can you protect her? One day she'll be on her own and she'll not know how to. Teach her how to be independent instead. To do things on her own. Teach her self-defense. Teach her to be safe. I'm glad to hear that y'all share similar views. Wish my dad did that, haha. Too late anyway. I'm so happy that all of your daughters would learn to be independent at least. The Dirty Jersey. This is a good one. Nobody thinks those angry overprotective dads that threaten boyfriends without any hint of wrongdoing are good people. Usually it's just a cheap excuse to flex for some fat middle-aged asshole with anger issues probably responsible for more trauma to his wife and kids than anyone else. Cone Puncher 420. I wonder about this being a male. If my future daughter came home with a serial killer / rapist / pedophile, would I be able to tell right away? Probably not, considering all those types are usually the last you'd expect. Fire Nietzsche. Treat your kids with respect and be a good role model that they respect. If you genuinely have an issue with their significant other or are worried for their safety, they'll be much more likely to listen to your opinion and inspect the relationship as opposed to being immediately defensive. It's never really the last person you'd expect. People are just too comfortable ignoring warning signs. The Hairless Gorilla. Not to mention, it, subconsciously, teaches women that they need someone else to protect them / do their talking for them. They turn into really nasty adults. Miss Lola. I know you probably don't want to hear about what happened with Sarah and Kyle today in Pre-Algebra or the character breakdown of her latest teen novel, but just listen to her. The moment you dismiss her thoughts and interests is the moment that wall starts going up between. Make an effort to remember some names and details and it'll mean everything to her. Don't laugh at her or get mad when she bursts into tears over something that you perceive as insignificant. Not only is she young and her world is smaller, but if she's above the age of 10 her emotions are running wild. Basically just treat her like her thoughts and feelings are valid. It's so easy to forget about how big your emotions feel when you're young. And the reason that I, as a 26-year-old woman, still talk to my father weekly and greet him with a big hug is that he listened with empathy. Yes, do this for boys too. I say it specifically in this thread because a lot of fathers don't know how to handle their daughters' emotions and thus dismiss them. P3-3AR69. So listen to the juicy gossip? I'm totally down for that. Should Emma know everything in that school? Synognathus. A previous thread like this had the suggestion of always be the parent that drives the kids places. The reasoning is, if you just stay quiet and drive, the kids will talk to each other and you can hear everything that's going on in their lives, school, clubs, etc. P3-3AR69. If I become a dad, I will be that dad. Onying Tyrish. Shit, I just like driving. Whenever my friends and I are going out, I try to drive as much as possible. It also helps that I drive like less of a maniac than them. Only problem is all the money I've spent on gas. Reckless Magpie. If they're long drives, ask your friends to pitch in for gas, even just $5 or $10 or so. Or maybe they can cover a meal or activity for you in return for driving them. THR0 me away trash. When my friends and I would go to movies in high school, whoever drove didn't pay for their ticket. Urano_metria. Hell, if my daughter took an interest in reading, I'd probably end up reading the same books just so I could relate to the stories she tells. Chuck Noby. This is exactly how my dad and I stayed connected when I was young. He traveled a bunch for business and he related to my other siblings through sports or Legos, differed depending on the sibling, but for me it was books. When Harry Potter first came out, he bought us both copies and then we would talk over the phone about the chapter I was on and what would happen next. As a 31-year-old, I still swap book lists with my dad. It is awesome. Holy cow, my first gold. I will be sure to let my dad know he helped me out. Smiley face. He also is why I had an interest in fiction and mystery in the first place. He got me reading The Hobbit in 5th grade and would be sure to share his original collection of Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew novels. Adidas Brazilian Buddy. Your dad sounds fucking sick. Bebe Lapo. When they are teenagers, respect their space as it's a tough time for them and honestly it's really difficult to talk to your dad about. We have mood swings and you might think we hate you but we love you dearly. Be there for her when she needs it too. Gara Blue Eyes. She might even say that she hates you. My daughter said it, when she was angry as a teen. Don't take it personally. I simply responded it's okay. You can feel that way. But, I still love you, anyway. Bad times don't last. We get along beautifully now. Spyglass. This. FFS, when I was 1-3 ISH, we were in the car and my dad was just being an absolute shit to my mom. He's got BPD and this was one of those moments. Well, I had heard it all my life but for the first time I spoke up and said I hate you when you talk like that, Daddy. At 13, I was still expected to call him Daddy BTW, which I know now is weird but my mom is Southern so it was just how it was. I am 37 and my dad will still never let me forget the time 13-year-old me said she hated him. It gets thrown in my face anytime he's upset at me. You can guess what that did for our relationship. Spectral hues. Just to give him something new to talk about, next time he starts up you should go, I hate you when you talk like that, Daddy. Just kidding. Just kidding. Super frustrating, God. This is why I ran away from home and never looked back. I just cut off the entire rotten tree, but I know it's harder if you have family you do like. Mine was awful enough that I was able to throw the whole thing out.